Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Jaquan,
I'm Jasmine.
and welcome to the Film Spill.
So, today, guys, we're going to be reviewing the movie Pinocchio. This is a family adventure movie, and here's the summary. In an Italian village, the wooden puppet Pinocchio is brought to life by the blue fairy and seeks the life of adventure while striving to be a real boy. Pinocchio's life is turned upside down when he leaves his father to follow the circus.
So, I enjoyed this film so much. I think that they did an amazing job telling this story, or retelling this story, I guess you can say. Let's get into my rating. I gave this film a 4 out of 5. It's very hard to get 5 out of me, but definitely is a 4 out of 5 type of film. Would I watch it again? Definitely. It was amazing. Let's get into my pros and my cons. So my very first pro was the kids loved it. We both talk about this a lot. You know, this is one of our son's favorite films. He enjoyed watching this film so much. And I just love that they loved it because I enjoyed it too. So I feel like as a family, we really all enjoyed watching this film. The next pro is I love the soundtrack of this film. You know, they had some really, really great songs, records that you even had to go find on Apple Music and play for me that day. So as you can know, that we don't do that to we don't do that for a lot of films. As far as actually wanting to go back and check out some of their songs, rarely when we do that. So they definitely had an amazing soundtrack. I enjoyed seeing him perform with the other puppets and to interact with the ballerina one. I'm not sure 100% what her name was, but it was real dope seeing them interact together. My next pro was when Pinocchio was in the ocean swimming fast away from Monstro. Like, soon as we saw him swimming fast, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, me and him just like, oh, like, we were just so hyped about that part. Tom Hanks did an amazing job as Geppetto. He's an amazing actor, so just seeing him bring that character to life was really cool. The Candlewood's character had a dope accent. We talked about him saying slats and stuff. That was cool. I think he sounded Italian. What I found out today, thanks to mommy, was him becoming a boy at the end. So that was also real cool. So after you showed me that, I actually thought about it for a few hours. I'm like, that's actually really dope, because I thought that was really one of my cons. Like,
I was waiting to see that.
Yeah, I talked about that. So just to see it, I'm like, this movie actually get boosted up to a 4 out of 5, because I was like, I really enjoyed seeing that. So that was cool. So thank you for that, baby. Cons. So I did not like, and we talked about this throughout the film, why did Geppetto send his wooden puppet son? Why did he send his wooden puppet son to school by himself? Like, immediately when that happened, I'm like, this is not going to end well. Like, why are you even thinking this is a great idea? Like, this just doesn't make sense.
Never been outside before.
Yeah. Don't even know what the sun is. This dude didn't even know what the sun was. He's like, yeah, go outside, go to school. Like, what? This is crazy. I didn't like how the kids act at Pleasure Island. They was just wilding out, just all over the place. So yeah, didn't care for that. I didn't like how they didn't explain. I told you this before, though. We talked about it. It's like, I just didn't like how they didn't explain how the kids were being turned into donkeys, or what those shadow creatures were. You know, I just didn't know why they didn't explain. You had to go look it up and stuff. It's just like, yo, I want to know what's happening. So, yeah, those are my pros and those are my cons.
Okay, guys. So I also give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. The blue fairy was everything. She was so pretty. I loved her dress that was like moving and stuff, and her voice was so angelic. I loved her singing "When You Wish Upon a Star." That is like my favorite song out of that movie. I loved when Geppetto was dancing and singing with Pinocchio, like after he found out he was alive. That was just the cutest little part. Like he said, Geppetto dropped the ball when it came to Pinocchio going to school. He didn't call to school. He didn't register that boy. He didn't walk him to school on his first day. He just sent him on his merry way, which caused a lot of problems throughout the movie.
Definitely.
The girl, her name was Fabiana, and her puppet's name was Sabina. I loved them, and her song "I Will Always Dance." I really like that song too.
Yeah,
that's like my number 2 song out of that movie. I was so sad when Pinocchio experienced peer pressure when the kids wanted to go to Pleasure Island, because it's such a real thing that happens in life, especially for young kids. Like, when you get older, you know, peer pressure is not that much because you're grown, you're like, whatever. But when you're a young kid, it's a very real thing. And we have young kids, so that made me really sad, like when he was experiencing peer pressure. And like he said, it was crazy how they were turning into donkeys, and those shadow monsters were creepy to me. And then I didn't understand why Pinocchio was turning into one, because he wasn't even a real kid.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even, because they said it was like the bad kids or whatever, but he wasn't even really being bad. So I don't know why he was turned into one. And then my final point at the end, when Pinocchio was holding his daddy and singing "When You Wish Upon a Star," and that tear came down his eye, that was it for me. Like, how can you not cry on that part? Like, it was so sad. Like, he was crying for his daddy because he thought he had died. But then his tears revived Geppetto as they were walking away, his body started turning into a human's. So that was just a really good movie. Like, we'll definitely watch it on repeat. Actually,
Yeah.
my son was watching it every single day, twice a day after we seen it. So it's a really good movie. We really loved it.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing movie. Definitely recommend this film if you guys have kids. It's amazing. You're just gonna enjoy it even if you don't have kids. It was dope. Y'all did an amazing job, Disney. Just like always, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. You guys have a good one.